Hello, what's up, guys? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Stack Sats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Bitcoin only, no poop coins, no yield products, no trading. Buy Bitcoin, take custody of that Bitcoin, and repeat the process. Figure out a way to create value, and turn that value into Bitcoin, increase your purchasing power over time, and next thing you know, you're living the easy life. Okay? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Leonard. What up, Leonard? Thanks for tuning in today. Hope all is good. All is good. All right. So today's topic is why I'm buying more Bitcoin. Oh my gosh. We're not putting that kind of stuff in the comments. BTC Backpacker. We're not voting for anybody. We're voting for Orange. Bitcoin may be apolitical, but politicians are not neutral. Good point, Jake. Good point. But today, and I guess going forward on this show, we're sticking to buying sats, stacking sats, and we're sticking to buying sats. Okay, that's the only orange we're talking about. Jake makes a good point. But the politicians are gonna politicize things. They're gonna get political. That's what they do. That's what their job is. Their job is to divide us, so that we can't tell what they're doing. So that we can't tell that they're just printing money out of nothing. Okay, and it's our job to stack sats and to defund that whole system that's set up to steal from us. Okay, so if you're cool with stacking sats and you're doing it for yourself, I don't care what your political alignments are. I don't care if you want to vote for or against Trump or Biden, or even if you support Tucker for that case. The idea of this show is you guys are free to decide who and what you support, right? There's no whoever you decide to support or not support shouldn't determine whether you can or cannot buy Bitcoin, and it doesn't. Okay, so what it comes down to here is with the limited capacity that I have as a person and limited reach as a content producer, content creator, want to take my time to promote the idea that Bitcoin is a way to make yourself economically free and be able to pursue whatever you want to pursue. And I don't want to let politics get in the way of that. Even if politics want to get in the way and want to become part of the conversation, I choose not to, I guess, interact with that. And I want to just continue what we've been doing for a year so far, which is promoting Bitcoin. And I know Bitcoin doesn't need me to promote it, right? But, yeah, exactly, John. Jake says, we're all in this fiat meat grinder together. That's exactly what it is, you know? And yeah, I get caught up in some of the politics and some of the ideas. I'm passionate about certain things, right? But I don't want that to dissuade somebody from looking into Bitcoin, right? So what I choose to do for myself is for me. It's for my own choice. It's for my own my own, I guess, set of beliefs, my own set of values, right? If those values align with you or they don't, it doesn't really matter. You can still stack, right? You'll still be able to reap the benefits of holding Bitcoin and shielding that value from inflation just the same as the next guy, right? So that said, let's keep the show on track, helping beginners, regardless of their political alignments, with getting started in understanding and learning about Bitcoin, learning that once you start buying Bitcoin, you shouldn't leave it on an exchange. Any exchange, doesn't matter what exchange you use. you shouldn't leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. Just take custody of that Bitcoin. And until you take custody of that Bitcoin is not truly yours. Okay. And once you take custody of it, it's yours, guaranteed, verified, confirmable on the blockchain, on the time chain. And that's all that matters. Okay. And then you can go do whatever it is you want to do to entertain yourself. BTC Munga in the house. What up, BTC Munga? It's been a while since I see you in here. It's good to see you in here. Thanks for tuning in. Still doing what we're doing. Stacking sats and staying not so humble. All right, here we go. Let's jump into the first segment of the show that we like to call the Sat Strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is down. Oh my God, it's down to $66,000. Wow, what are we going to do? Sell it all, guys. It's going to zero. It's going to zero. Get out now while you still have some value left. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's what they want you to believe. Okay? Look, these changes, these fluctuations are, I guess I say normal, right? Expected, right? In the long term, Bitcoin's trending up, and it's going to continue to go up for the simple fact that it's a harder money. It's a harder thing to make than the paper money that we all have to use or forced to use, right? And as that paper money supply increases, the purchasing power of that paper decreases, and you need more of that paper money to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. And so the purchasing power of your Bitcoin is always going up. Prices of everything are always dropping in terms of Bitcoin. Okay? In terms of paper money, you're gonna have to work harder for that paper, and you have to pay more of that paper for the things you have, for the things you want to do in life. Okay? So it's it's that simple. If you work for the paper and you save in the paper, life is going to continue to get harder and harder for you, and you're going to be expected to do more and more work until your dying days. If you save in Bitcoin, life gets a little bit easier. You won't need to do as much work because the value that you set aside will continue to appreciate against the paper money, and it'll make things that you're used to purchasing to maintain your current lifestyle, make your lifestyle a little bit cheaper. Over time, your lifestyle will become more affordable. And Carlos Jaramillo says, "What up, Carlos? Round of applause from Live Studio audience for Carlos." Also, BTC Backpacker and Jake. Sorry, I missed the shoutouts, guys. Carlos says, "Great news, everyone! Another college in my office now holds his. Oh, another colleague in my. Let's go. Let's go. That's very good. Carlos over there doing the work. It's very good. I had one of my one of the people. Let's do a little quick story, okay? So anyway, the Bitcoin price is $66,743.22, and right now you can buy 1,498 satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a satoshi? A satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin, just like a dollar has 100 cents. A Bitcoin has 100 million satoshis. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once today for $66,000. You can save as much as you want to start saving in Bitcoin, because you remember, you don't save to buy a Bitcoin. You save in Bitcoin, okay? Let's just say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny. You pick it up, and all the day you could have almost 15 satoshis for a single cent. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. When we started doing the show about a year ago, we're getting 39 to 40 satoshis for a single penny. And now look at that. Not even making 15 satoshis for a dollar, for a penny. So just another way to illustrate the fact that the dollar is losing purchasing power against Bitcoin, and you need more and more dollars to buy the same amount of Bitcoin as you could buy in the past. It's pretty crazy. All right. Let's get back to this story time. It says, Carlos says he's got another friend. Okay, good. Another pleb joined Aqua Wallet for the win. That's cool. That's awesome. So round of applause from the live studio audience for Carlos for orange pilling another one of his friends. Hey, slow and steady, one at a time. I kid and I say that the show is small and we don't have that big of an audience. But we're making a difference, right? we're making a difference. When we might not be making a huge impact, but to the few people that we've been able to get orange pilled or educate on the Bitcoin way, the Bitcoin standard, to those people we played a big part. We played a big role, right? And yeah, there's not a lot of us. Our audience is small, but we're doing our part, right? We're doing our part. We're helping people understand Bitcoin, and we're doing it without compromising our values. Okay, so that's super important to me. Okay, all right. I had one of my orange pill. What do you call somebody? What do you call somebody that you orange pilled? What are they to you? Are they one of your students? Are what do you normally call somebody? Like if somebody orange, like if somebody had orange pilled me, like who orange pilled me really? I don't know. I guess like watching Michael Saylor videos on the Lex Friedman podcast was the beginning of me getting orange pilled. But what do you call somebody that you orange pilled? I'm curious to think what you guys to know what you guys call it. Anyway, somebody that I orange pilled. Yeah, it's true. A Bitcoiner. Yeah, it's true. A Bitcoiner that we orange pilled hit me up the other day because their apartment management company had sent them an email that they were gonna do an inspection in that person's, like, I guess, living space, right? I was like, that's weird. That just the concept to me is a little bit new. I thought it was pretty weird that like they would email you and say that they're gonna basically go into your house and look around for something, I don't know, some kind of inspection without you being there. That's so weird. It's such an invasion of privacy, I guess, in my mind, right? I would think that they'd have to have somebody there in person to go into your facility, go into your living space, even though it is their property. You're paying rent to be there, right? So anyway, I thought that was really weird. And this person had gotten a notification that they were gonna have somebody come in, and just forgot about it and left their safe open, right? And even though they don't, he doesn't think that his safe got accessed. It was unlocked during the time when that those people that were managing the building came into his place. And so it was like, what should we do? Should we redo all your keys? You know, would you redo all your keys? Because there's a chance that somebody that was on that staff and came through could have looked at their safe and maybe copied their seed phrase, right? So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go through and redo everything. So I walked them through redoing their whole setup, and it took about, I don't know, not counting the time we were waiting for transactions to go through, it took about like 2 or 3 hours to redo it and get back to square one with a brand new seed phrase, hardware reconfigured, flashed, and I don't know. I think it was a good exercise and a really good reaction on the part of my friend that I orange pilled, because he could have taken the easy road and just said like, what are the chances that somebody actually got my seed phrase and has it, right? And just like blown it off, right? But no, we went through. We did the right thing. We redid his whole setup, and you know, maybe nothing. Maybe his seed phrase was never really exposed. But you know, who knows? Yeah, at least you have peace of mind, right? And I just thought that was a really good thing for them to be able to, first of all, admit that they left their safe unlocked and that it was a potential exposure, right? Um, it was just kind of, I thought it was like really good of them to be able to recognize that mistake and then take the steps to fix it, even if there wasn't a very likely chance that they actually copied the seed phrase, right? You just gotta like be. It just seems like a really good practice. Like practice, it's like what do you call it? A safe practice to to be vigilant about that stuff. Like even though there was the original mistake of not locking the safe, still, uh, it was good that they had the open mindedness to admit they were wrong and they made a mistake and took the steps to make it right, or to prevent anything from happening if something happened, as far as like they had taken the seed phrase or not, right? But it was cool. So I went through that, and I don't mind doing that kind of stuff because, first of all, I don't want that person to lose their Bitcoin while trying to set it up again on their own. So I'm okay with helping them. And also because losing your stack could like turn you off to Bitcoin altogether, right? And so I think it was great. It tells me that this person listened to what I was saying when I was explaining to them how Bitcoin works, and they took it to heart. And it's really I guess satisfying in a way to know that I was able to explain Bitcoin in a way that they really understood, and they're actually taking that advice at heart. So it was really nice. It was really nice. Anyway, so I bring that story up to remind us to look through our cold storage. Make sure you check on your cold storage. Make sure your seed phrase is kept safe outside of the view of anybody who might be around that you don't want to see it. Right? Deny his existence. Right? And more importantly, be ready to be open to admitting if you're wrong at something, because if you were to ignore situations like that where your seed phrase could have gone potentially compromised, then you're asking to get rugged. Pretty much, you're asking to get robbed, right? A little bit of like, since we're on that same topic, today I wanted to talk a little bit about security and securing your phrase and safety, right? We've talked about this in the past, but I like to just remind you that you should never take a picture of your seed phrase with your phone, especially since most phones have like a third party entity involved with backing up your photos, right? If those photo backups get somehow hacked down the road in the future, and you have a picture of your seed phrase, you're gonna get rugged, right? You're gonna lose your Bitcoin, right? Another thing along those same lines is you should never write down your seed phrase in a text form on your phone, especially because, again, a lot of the notes on your phone are backed up to this or that server, right? And there's always, you'll always see it in the news, or not. Well, I can't say always, but every once in a while you'll see it in the news where it's like, oh, this company got hacked and released. The hackers were able to get to so many documents or so many photos, or it's not a big deal. It's just a bunch of photos. Oh, it's not a big deal. Just a bunch of text documents, right? But if those photos or text documents include a seed phrase, I'm sure the people that are going through that stuff, once they sort through all the data they captured, will comb through it, and see if there's anything there that looks like something that could be a seed phrase, right? It just if you're in that industry, that's probably what you'd want to do, right? Yeah, BTC Moon Guy's got a good point. Multi-sig for the win, right? Thanks. Hey, Paul, what up, Paul? Good to see you here. Also, Todd, what up, guys? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Todd and Paul. Welcome, guys. Yeah, exactly. It's stuff that we can just kind of continue to talk about in other episodes too. The whole point of the show is to help you guys that are new to Bitcoin understand what it is and understand how to safely hold it, and it be just a I guess learn good Bitcoin custody practices, I guess you could say, right? Good Bitcoin custody practices. Anyway, so I guess let's jump into why we stack, right? Real quick. Let's see. Why we stack. For today's episode, for today's why we stack, we're just going to go with the simple, quick, short, and sweet. We stack because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a continuously increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. And that's why we stack. Slow and steady and simple. Okay? We take some of the value we work so hard for, we put it in Bitcoin, and slow and steady over time, eventually, and not too far off in the future actually, your stack will be worth more than the rest of your days of working would have made you in your current job. And at that point, you might decide to just stop doing the job you have now and focus on something you want and focus on something you love doing instead. For less pay, for more pay, or for no pay. At that point, financials is not what's going to be driving you. It's passion. It's your desire to do a certain thing, to do a certain type of job, to do a certain kind of business. You won't have to be worried about if your business is going to be, I don't know. You don't have to worry about your career choice, about making a career choice based on whether that career choice is going to make you a ton of money or not, because you won't need it. You'll be free to choose to focus on whatever you love to do and focus on that. Make that your job. Just got home from my fiat job. What up, Paul? Yeah. Hey, we all have fiat jobs. You know, I got to get back to my fiat job after this episode. So we do what we can, right? To stack sats. But yeah, that's the long and that's the short of it, right? We save in Bitcoin because if we don't save in Bitcoin, you're letting yourself get rugged, right? Only keep as much paper money as you're okay with being debased on. That's it. That's it. Simple as that. That's why we stack. Okay. All right. Let's end that music, and let's jump into the stack recap, guys. Stack recap, because we don't only talk about buying Bitcoin here on the show. We actually buy it Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. I need to update these purchases, but here it is. In 2024, we're up about 22% on our holdings. And in the past year, we're up about 65% since we started stacking here on the show. Each one of these lines represents, well, most of these lines, each time there's a color change. Right here. It represents different episodes. And we've been buying Bitcoin for about a year. Actually, over a year now. Here on the show, we've accumulated 0.16 Bitcoin, not even 0.2 of a Bitcoin, but that almost 0.2 of a Bitcoin, that's 16.6 million Satoshis. We saved $6,691 to accumulate that many Satoshis. And today, if we were to go and try to buy the same amount of Satoshis today, it would cost us 65.84% more of today's weaker paper money. Okay. There it is, just like that. We didn't have to do anything else but buy Bitcoin, take custody of that Bitcoin and hold it, sit on your hands, and it increased in purchasing power by 65%. Just like that. Okay? So, you don't have to go and become a real estate developer, a Harvard-educated financial guru. You don't have to go trade a bunch of stocks. You don't have to go become a real estate developer. Like I said, you don't have to go and do all kinds of crazy stuff. All you got to do is create value for society in exchange for money. Take that money, take that value that money represents, put it into Bitcoin, and slow and steady, it'll be like going back in time and giving yourself a continuously increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked. That's what I mean, guys. It's there. It's easy. Okay? Let's check out the goods per sat. Oh, my milk is back into the 5 digits, but it'll dip down back into the 4 digits soon enough. Back in October 3rd, 2023, I was buying milk for $6.99 a gallon. It was costing me 25 4,509 Satoshis. At the price of Bitcoin today, that same gallon of milk still costs $6.99. But in terms of Bitcoin, it's only going to cost me 10,476 Satoshis if I were to go and buy with Bitcoin today. I'm not saying that I'm spending my Bitcoin, guys. I'm just letting you know that that milk, that burrito, that bread, and that taco since October have dropped about 60% in price. Okay? So, this is another way to illustrate the point that when you save and in dollars, things keep getting maybe not more expensive, but in a way they do get more expensive because you're not getting a raise. You're not making more money unless you're switching jobs and getting a 10% raise every year. But in terms of Bitcoin, the price is actually going down. You can see it. You can see it week over week, month over month. The price of things that you buy to maintain your current lifestyle are going down in terms of Bitcoin. And you take the same example, extrapolate it out across all of your expenses, and next thing you know, you're spending less and less of your time working for that paper to be able to maintain your current lifestyle. And again, like I said earlier, you have more of your time back now, right? Because if I'm working and making $13.70 an hour, it takes 1 hour of my life to buy a burrito on October 3rd. Today, it still costs $13.70 to buy that burrito. But in terms of Bitcoin, it's only going to cost me 20,552 Satoshis today. Whereas in October, it was costing me almost 50,000 Satoshis, right? So what does that mean? Well, it means that instead of spending an hour of my life to buy a burrito, I can buy a burrito for about 20 minutes of my life, 25 minutes of my life, something like that, right? So if I want to have 2 burritos today instead of 1, I can do that. Or I can not have it. I could just have my regular burrito and one for today and one for tomorrow. And now I don't have to work tomorrow, right? It's pretty wild. Okay. And the longer you hold Bitcoin, the cheaper things get. This is just since October 2023. Okay. So keep stacking, stack hard, and let's get back to the stack recap. Okay. We have 5 days left on our 100 stacks challenge. We're buying Bitcoin every day for 100 days for a total of 3 months, 10 days. We're going to be saving $5,095. And what the idea was, as the price of Bitcoin went up, saving in Bitcoin would have been better than saving in cash. Right now, cash is winning in a way, right? Because our stack is worth 0.89% less than the value of that we saved. We saved $4,935, and it's currently worth $4,891. So we're losing a little bit there, right? But these losses and gains are not realized yet. So we're going to continue with the challenge. We have 5 more days, and let's see if in 5 days Bitcoin has a nice little pump, and then we'll be in the positive. Okay. That said, my intention with this little extra stack was never to sell it at the end of the challenge. It's just another way for me to have fun, stacking a little extra on top of our regular DCA, and hopefully motivating some of you guys to stack daily, right? Even if we end up in a negative position, the loss is not realized because I'm still not selling it, right? So we'll see how it goes. And then we'll check back. We'll check back on the stack every month or so to see how it's doing once the challenge is completed. And I don't think I'll restart the challenge because this has been kind of a strain for me to stack this much on the side. So in addition to my regular stacking offline and the little buys that we do here every day on the show for the regular show. Anyway, today you get to decide if we're doing a $31 stack or a $35. Wait, or a $35 stack. Today's the 13th. Yep. All right. So that said, we've gone through all the information. We know how much Bitcoin we need to stack. There's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some sats. There we go. Where are we at? That's right. All right, that's right. We're gonna stack over on. We're stacking over on what's it called? On Strike. We're using the Strike app today to stack. Let's see, here it is. Getting it queued up. I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin am I buying? I'm buying $20 worth of Bitcoin for our regular purchase for the show. $20. There it is. Oh, let me bring up my screen. There we go. $20 worth of Bitcoin today at $66,710. Let's do this. Cut the music. Hit the drum roll. There we go. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin today on Strike, on the Strike app. Boom! Just like that, we're able to stack an additional 29,642 Satoshis for the stack. I'll update the sheets tonight, so tomorrow we'll have updated sheets. Yeah, just like that, we stacked a $20 stack for the regular Monday through Friday stack of the show. All the buys are available if you type in !SAT sheet. You'll be able to see the purchases that we've done for the show. Go through there, do some math, do some analytics, come up with some cool statistics. And yeah, if you want to track your sats like we do on this show, you can use that sheet. It's available as a template if you click on that link, if you make that link. Okay, now I'm trying to get that. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna play this just because Carlos is asking for it. DCA to BTC. All right. So while that stack is completed, I'm gonna put the poll up to see if we're doing, to see what you guys think if we should do the $31 or $35 stack today. So starting up the poll, and when I'm starting up the poll, you guys can listen to DCA to BTC.
Yeah. My like quakes. Yeah. 2023. Yeah. I'm gonna DCA to BTC, bro. Yeah.
Oops. There we go.
Yeah. Yo, DCA to BTC, DCA to BTC, monthly, weekly, daily, finna, DCA to BTC, GBP, USD, I DCA to BTC, my TZS, I made it blessed, I DCA to BTC, cause every single year, I keep losing spending power, and I can't make it back even if I work double hours, and they tell me volatility, what's that gotta do with me? Let the bulls and bears fight, DCA to BTC, I saw an opportunity when FTX crashed, oh snap, look at that, yo, BTC is 15 G's, stack, sats, Odell keeps on
shout out if you stack that 15.5.
Odell keeps on telling me, DCA to BTC, DCA to BTC, monthly, weekly, daily, finna, DCA to BTC, GBP, USD, I DCA to BTC, my TZS, I made it blessed, I DCA to BTC, woo! Yeah.
All right. The poll is going. Got a 50, 50. Oh, we got a 35. Let's go.
Stack, sats, stacking, sats, stack, sats, stack, sats, stack, sats, stack, sats, DCA to BTC. Yeah.
Whoa.
Get me. My light. Quakes. Yo.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Yo. My like Quakes don't play when it comes to DCA. Yo. My like Quakes don't play when it comes to DCA. Yo. My like
all right.
Quakes don't play.
So I think he was dancing. Carlos dancing around. That's funny. All right. The votes are The votes disappeared from you guys. Did you guys see the votes? I'm gonna end the poll. That's weird. Maybe it has something to do with the song. Oh, weird. The votes. I saw the votes, and then the votes were gone. I thought it was 35, right? 35. It was weird. Like the votes were on there, and all of a sudden they're gone. I don't know. Maybe YouTube is messing with me. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do the 35 because it's so low, dude. It's 66,800. We gotta do 35, guys. Come on. Nah. Let's settle at 100. Let's go. Orange in the house. What up? Was it 35? Yeah, it's 35. Okay, we're doing 35 for the 100 stacks challenge. Bam. Confirming. $35 were stacked. Just like that. An additional $35 were stacked for our 100 stacks challenge. And there you go. We have come to the end of the segments, and now we're going to jump into the Q&A. Questions and answers. I have questions, you guys have answers, or the other way around. Yeah, Orange, I appreciate you jumping in here, dude. I know some of the conversations can get tough, right? But I'm just looking at it with the realistic view, and I don't want to respond in a rude way to anybody's comments. If I feel somebody's making a good argument that's like they're making sense, I'm open to it. Right? But if they're just jumping on there making like funny, saying like random empty things, then whatever. I'll troll them a little bit, just have some fun. But I want to keep the show where it's at. I don't want to go down that route, even though it does bring a lot of interactions. I don't need those interactions. What I need is for people to open their eyes about Bitcoin, regardless of their political view, and understand that saving in Bitcoin is a way to get yourself out of the money slave system, right? BTC is money for my enemies, right? Yeah, exactly. BTC is money for everybody, and that's great, right? Bitcoin doesn't do things. People just like a hammer doesn't do things unless you pick it up and do something with it. You can pick up a hammer and build a house, or you can pick up a hammer and bash your neighbor's head in with it. But in either case, the hammer is just a hammer. One day, a whole music album will be made about Bitcoin, similar to the Chronic album. Dude, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. Yeah, even for Peter Schiff, you know, he probably has some Bitcoin, guys. You know, he's selling all these people gold and using their money to buy Bitcoin. He probably has a crazy big Bitcoin stack, dude. How can that guy not? Right? But he can't speak out against Bitcoin because if he does, it kind of kills his whole business, right? He's like a gold guy, isn't he? Exactly, Orange. Yeah, he's just selling his product. Yeah, 100% he has Bitcoin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but again, that's his cash cow right now. His Bitcoin, sorry, his gold business is the way he makes his living, isn't it? So, can you imagine, Carlos? That's crazy. But yeah, keeping things as light as possible, right? I don't want to turn off anybody who's looking into studying Bitcoin. It's one of the best things you can do, right? I'm still making my way through the fiat standard book. I haven't been out for my walks lately, but I need to get back on track with the audiobook. So I'll let you guys know once I'm done reading or listening to the fiat standard. But so far it's good. Again, I'm still in the section where it's talking about fiat foods. And yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. On a different note, you guys know how I've been on a journey to kind of lose weight. And I've been doing like the keto diet with intermittent fasting, right? And in the keto diet, you're not supposed to have sugar or carbs, right? And my wife got me these little liquid IV packets that you could put in your water to make it taste good. And she got me some lime flavored ones that were sugar free. I was like, okay, I guess it's sugar free and it's got electrolytes. I guess I'll check it out. So I looked up the ingredients, and the ingredients, there's no sugar in it, right? It's got this stuff called allulose, which is kind of like a sugar replacement. It tastes sweet, but your body can't really digest it, so it just kind of like gets rid of it. So you taste sweet, but you don't have the pitfalls of consuming sugar. And it doesn't get you out of ketosis. It doesn't interact. It doesn't counteract the keto diet because it's not actual sugar. So I'm like, this is awesome. I can drink this stuff while I'm doing jiu-jitsu, and sure. So I'm all for it. And then right next to that bag of these liquid IVs, she also bought a strawberry flavored one, right? And I don't know. I didn't read it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. The lemon ones are pretty good. Let's try the strawberry ones. So I just grabbed it, put it in my water, made my way to jiu-jitsu, and I've been drinking the strawberry ones for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Been drinking them during jiu-jitsu class. Been drinking them at the beach in between, like trying to catch tasty waves. And it turns out the strawberry flavored ones are not sugar-free. Dang it. And I couldn't figure out why I hit a plateau with my weight loss. I got stuck at like 150. I touched 154. No, sorry, 164. After I went back to jiu-jitsu last week, the first day of jiu-jitsu, I dropped like maybe 2 pounds just in like from the beginning of the class to the end of the class because I sweat so much in class. And like I was like, all right, cool, this is gonna be good. So when I got out of class, I got to my lowest, which was 164.8 or something like that, 164.6, and I was like, heck yeah. And then the next class on the following after a couple of days on the Wednesday, I started putting the sweetener in my drink, and not realizing it was actual sugar. And I've been drinking it for the past, like I said, 3 or 4 days, or maybe more than that now. And I'm like, man, I'm stuck at like 165, and I'm actually up to getting 166. I'm at 168 now. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Why am I gaining weight? And then part of me was like, well, maybe because I have been doing so much for a while that now that I'm back at jiu-jitsu and I'm kind of trying to like muscle around some other grown men, I might be getting some muscle definition back. But I'm like, man, that's a lot of muscle. I don't think it's muscle. And so anyway, I'm glad I finally figured out what it was. I was drinking freaking sugar without knowing it. I thought it was just like the no sugar version of it, but turns out it wasn't. So now that I know what it is, I'll be able to get back to my regular, hopefully get back into ketosis again and continue my weight loss goal. I'm trying to get to 160. And then that's my goal anyway. Circle water filters are great as well. Okay. I'm on intermittent fasting since about 3 years myself. Oh, dude. Intermittent fasting is great. It's great. It says, you realize that proponent of keto and intermittent fasting, Dr. Michael, mostly just diet and grease. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. If you got it right, Peter. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. That's a good point, Orange. If he gets invited to speak as an opponent, as the counterpoint to buying Bitcoin, yeah, it's true. He's making money for an appearance to argue against Bitcoin, even though he probably is taking that same payment and stacking it into Bitcoin. Hey, he's got a better setup than I do, I guess. It's pretty funny. Cool. All right, gentlemen. I'll say ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. Let's wrap up the show. with, the good old song. Setting it up for an epic speech at the end, but I don't have one for you guys today. All I can say is that we move on, we continue to stack regardless of the politics, regardless of who wins. They're both going to continue to print paper money and devalue your savings. So there's only one thing we can really do. From now until next time, just keep stacking sats. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Sats Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys. Jade up in the house. Paul, Leonard, Orange, Carlos, BTC Backpacker, BTC Fanny Packer in the house. Paul, I got Paul already. BTC Moon Guy. Jake Thomas, what up, Jake? Thanks for tuning in today. Glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.